2013, two academics, I'll shout out their names, Sam Fayaz and Rouzbeh Shirazi, published an article in Iranian Studies, and they were looking at the good-bad Iranian dichotomy in media coverage. They looked at articles published in Time magazine and Newsweek between, I think, the years 1998 to 2009. So this was right before the Green Revolution. And they described that there's these like two canonical figures that come up in US media portrayals. One is the figure of the bad Iranian, and this is the mullah who's perceived as irrational, anti-modern, an enemy of the United States. And then in this corpus of news articles, there's this canonical figure of the good Iranian. And the authors of this research say that this is, youth in Iran who they quote unquote describe as convivially partaking in the youthful cliches of American culture, namely sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And so this good Iranian in Iran is salvageable. This is someone who can be shaped and molded into a model Western political subject through their consumptive practices of like sex, drugs, rock and roll. And then we see the effects of that in diaspora as well. There's research by this foundational Arab American studies scholar named Dr. Evelyn Al-Sultani, who works at USC in Los Angeles. And she's shown how this same good-bad Iranian dichotomy also extends to diasporic representation. So the analogy here would be like in our pop culture universe in the US, the Shahs of Sunset, right? And how they perform consumption, mainly money, sex, booze, whatever on television, and that's quote unquote like the best that we have to offer in terms of representation. And that can itself have these corrosive effects too.